welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Stacey Forsey and this is my son Zach Forsey, who's very kindly volunteered to join me on Baking with Stacey today. So we're going to make double chocolate chip cookies, which is a recipe that is in my book Scrumplicious Sweet Treats. And Zach was also the person that came up with the name of my book, wasn't you?
Yep.
Do you remember how?
Weren't we reading a book?
I used to read a book to Zach, it's Secret 7, when he was really little. They used to use the word scrumptious, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like scrumptious and then I mixed it with delicious.
Yeah, and I said to you, what shall I call my book? And then you said Scrumplicious Sweet Treats. So, Zach's idea. Anyway, right, should we get going? Let's get going and baking. We'll start off with the chia seeds because they need to soak. So the chia seeds are what will replace the egg. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
So what we do is, you add the water to the seeds and they expand and go quite, it sounds really gross, a bit sloppy, and it creates
like an egg.
I suppose it's science really, it binds. So an egg, what an egg does, will keep all these ingredients all bound together. And these chia seeds do a very similar thing. So would you do me a favour? Would you find a teaspoon on there, and you want a teaspoon of chia seeds into the bowl.
Just one?
Yep, nice teaspoon. Yeah, just put that in. Yep. So we want 2 teaspoons of water. And if you get one of those spoons and just give it a mix for me. And then what you do is you just leave those for about 10 minutes or so. And then the seed soaks all the water up. And that's going to be our egg replacer and keep all our ingredients together. So just to let you know, the cookies that I'm making are not a hard biscuity cookie. They're the traditional, really soft, doughy, you know, when you have a really warm cookie that just like is quite gooey still. That's the type of cookies we love, so that's what I'm making. Right, that's done, Zach. Okay, let's put that to one side. So that's our chia seeds, and they need to soak for a little bit. Whilst we're waiting, I've weighed out all the dry ingredients already, so it makes it easier for us. So, do you want to put all these dry ingredients in, and I can shout out for everyone?
Chuck it in.
Chuck it in, yeah. So, first coconut sugar. So we've got 100 grams of...
I need to use that?
No, just put it all in. I've weighed it already. Yeah, just watch, it doesn't... yeah. Should we get a spoon to get the rest of that? Because every little bit counts. So there's 100 grams of coconut sugar in there. And Zach's just put 15 grams of gluten-free organic oats. Okay, go for the next one. This one is brown. Yeah, this is brown rice flour. And we've got, just careful with that because it'll go everywhere if you chuck it, just like,
But it's white.
Yeah, I know it looks white, but it's brown rice flour. So it is a bit tinged brown, no? No. I don't think so, no. Okay, so we've got 45 grams of brown rice flour. This is buckwheat flour, and that's 40 grams of buckwheat flour.
Why do you use so much flour?
I use flour in loads of sweet baking ingredients, but the
flour
flour
as well?
No. So that's arrowroot, and you can put that in. That's 30 grams of arrowroot, but just be careful because it'll just like fly everywhere for you. Yep, that's it, perfect. Yep, get your fingers in, that's fine. I was going to use a spoon, typical me. So that was 30 grams of arrowroot, and so basically all those flours were all gluten-free. So the rice flour, there's no gluten in that. The buckwheat flour, there's no gluten in that. And then the arrowroot, you can start stirring that if you want. Arrowroot's got no flavour to it. I'm sure this is really interesting for you, isn't it? You're really not interested in what arrowroot is at all. Don't know why I'm explaining. You love arrowroot. Well, anyway, for everybody that's watching, you need the arrowroot because it's used as a thickening agent, but it's really natural. Did you know that? It's not like full of chemicals. There's no nasty chemicals in this.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, isn't it? Okay, right, let's add the rest. So we've got 15 grams of cocoa powder. And then we've got, this is the corn flour, but this is gluten-free. It's not like normal flour. This is gluten-free corn flour. Okay, you see all those blobs, just like breaking them down. Okay, so now we've got all the lumps out and you've given it a really good mix. We're going to add bicarbonate of soda and xanthan gum. And these two, again, are a bit like helping with not using eggs, basically. So we want half a teaspoon, oh that's quarter, we want half a teaspoon.
Are these all dairy free as well?
Yeah, they don't have dairy in these products. But the cookies are completely dairy free, yep.
Jeez, they taste like exactly the same.
Yeah, and Zach is literally the most fussiest eater, aren't you? And you won't mind me saying, that's another half a teaspoon, by the way, of xanthan gum. Do you want to mix that whilst we're chatting? Yep. So Zach's literally the most fussiest eater, aren't you, really? Really fussy. And the fact that when I tell him, or if I make one of my recipes, and he'll always say to me, is it dairy and gluten free, don't you? And I'll say yes. I'll be like, oh no, and he'll always go for the other option. But you don't with these, do you?
But if you don't tell me, I don't even realise.
Yeah, exactly. Which, well done. Which was the purpose of all my baking and all my recipes, because I didn't want to compromise in taste and texture. And the whole reason why the recipes took me like nearly 2 years to create was because I was sick and tired of eating alternative recipes that didn't taste good. They were full of artificial preservatives, they were full of refined sugar. So I was getting really annoyed that there was no recipes out there that A, tasted like the real thing and had the same taste and consistency, but was also healthy. So,
like I remember once we were having dinner and you gave me Yorkshire puddings, but they were all the same, but I didn't know, and I was like, oh, these are so nice. Yeah. And then you go, they're gluten and dairy free now. I'm like, really? Yeah,
you didn't even know, did you? Yeah, I used eggs in those though, didn't I? And they're your favourite Yorkshire puddings now. Right, okay, so we've done the dry ingredients. Let's get on to the wet ingredients, yeah? I'll put that to one side. Thank you very much. So those chia seeds again, they've been soaking now, loads of time soaking. So you might like this bit. Peanut butter. I'll add everything in. So we've got 60 grams of 100% organic peanut butter. Would you eat peanut butter on its own, Zach?
No.
You're not really a huge lover of peanut butter, are you?
No.
I never used to be at your age, and Grandma used to make me peanut butter sandwiches. Yeah. I now love peanut butter with,
can I mix?
My God, yeah. Yeah, you can start mixing that. I love peanut butter with chocolate. That's why I make peanut butter and chocolate slices in my book as well. Right, okay, and then to that, we've got some vanilla essence. Chill your beans, slow down. Okay. So that's 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence in there, okay? You use vanilla essence in your mug cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes a really awesome mug cake, which is really nice, don't you? Then what we got next, and we've got you can use oat milk or you can use almond milk. I have got 30 millilitres of almond milk, but if you have an issue with nuts, just use oat milk. Gluten-free oat milk, obviously, if you've got a gluten intolerance. Okay, so we've got the peanut butter, we've got the milk, and we've got the vanilla essence in there, and we've got the chia seeds that we soaked. So now we need to add some maple syrup. So in the book, in my recipe book, I've used 2 tablespoons of organic honey. Due to the diet that I'm following at the moment, if I have any form of sweetness, I'm trying to just use pure maple syrup. And if you're a vegan, then you obviously want to avoid the honey as well. It is quite expensive, unfortunately, but it is, I feel, the best form of sweetness health-wise that you can get. Okay, I'm just gonna add 2 tablespoons, Zach, of maple syrup. As I say, that's to replace the honey that's in the recipe in my book, but feel free to use honey, that's absolutely fine. Give that a good mix. Okay, next, it's 60 millilitres of coconut oil, and you want it at room temperature. You don't want it hard, because you want to really mix well. So this is now the coconut oil going in, Zach, and that's 60 millilitres.
Would you normally use normal oil or something?
No. Yeah, so that's a really good question. So I would use, if you were making normal cookies now without, that wasn't non-dairy, this is where you'd use the butter. But instead of butter, I'm using coconut oil. And coconut oil is non-dairy, so there's no dairy in that at all. Not only is it good fats, but it's also giving us that nice extra creamy taste that we want for our cookies. And Zach's giving those a really good stir. Okay, so that's all our wet ingredients done. So that was really quick. So we've got maple syrup in there, we've got coconut oil, we've got vanilla essence, chia seeds that were soaked in water.
Peanut butter.
And peanut butter. And I used almond milk today, but you can use oat milk. So that's the 6 ingredients, all mixed really well. And what we're going to do now is going to add these wet ingredients to those dry ingredients that you mixed before. We've got all the dry ingredients that we made earlier on here. And I will now add, are we ready?
Yep.
All the lovely peanut butter mix, the wet ingredients that's going to make our cookies really, really doughy and soft. So Zach's now going to give the wet and the dry ingredients a really, really good mix. It's quite tough to do, isn't it? It's quite hard.
Yeah.
Keep going, try and shall I help you just do that little bit there? And then we'll give these cookies a really, really good mix. Okay, you can carry on. And then what we need to do is, this mixture needs to set in the fridge for at least an hour. I mean, it's best if they can go in the fridge overnight, but if not, I've done them many a times where the kids have wanted them and I've just popped them in for an hour and they've been absolutely fine. But as I say, much better to cook with and bake when they've been set overnight. And what I tend to do at this point now is, we'll add the chocolate bits and then I just literally get my hands messy because it's a dough. This is a cookie dough. They're not, as I say, crispy cookies. These are really gooey, soft, doughy cookies that are really nice when they're hot. Okay, so what we'll do now is let's add the chocolate now. So this is probably your favourite bit. So you take 100 grams of dark dairy-free chocolate. You can give this a really good bash for me. Wait there 1 minute. Okay, just bang the chocolate, give the chocolate a really good bang, but like literally try and be sensible. Don't, you're just trying to break it up into tiny pieces. That's it, yep, bang it away. Stop. Okay, that's a really good stress management activity. Right, so what we'll do now is I'll just take this and just make sure that all the chocolate is in. Yeah, but I like to break it up with the rolling pin and then just, because I like all the chocolate to be like rough different sizes, and then when we do this, we get loads of nice little pieces now. See? We've got all the dark chocolate all chopped and ready to go. Chuck it all in there. All right, we don't want any foil. Thank you. So just give that a little bit of a mix. Okay, we'll use our fingers now. So this is where I find it's best just to get your hands right in there because you want all those chocolate pieces completely mixed in, and some will dart out and you can feel like the gooiness from all the coconut oil and the peanut butter. You want it like one big dollop like that. Okay, does that look good?
Yep.
So next part, we just need to roll this into some cling film and get this in the fridge for at least 1 hour. And then that's a nice long roll that goes in the fridge. And that's it. And if you just pop that in the fridge, Zach, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, that's the cookie dough in the fridge now. Our hands are filthy. We're going to go and wash them and we'll see you in an hour. Hi, welcome back. So we have taken out our cookie dough from the fridge. It's actually gone in for a lot longer than an hour, hasn't it? It's probably been about two hours. Yeah. And so it's actually really hard now. It's much more easier to cut. See, if you don't leave it long enough, it kind of oozes when you cut it. So you want to leave it in the fridge for as long as you can. But as I say, 1 hour is normally fine. So I will score it and then Zach can cut it. I always kind of guesstimate about 4 centimetre diameter. But you know, you can do it as fat or as long as you want. So we're going to try and we're going to do some really nice fat gooey cookies, aren't we? So I'm going to cut the ends off just to even out. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you going to cut them inside the
5.
tin foil or take on?
You cut it with the cling film. It's cling film, not tin foil. Yeah. So do you remember how I showed you to cut last time we were baking?
Yes.
Hand over, no fingers underneath. See if you can do that one. It's pretty tough, but go for it. Hand really push down. That's it, yeah? Not too bad, is it? No. You see the next one? These are really nice big fat cookies. Look at the size of these. These are going to be huge. And then we'll do 2 thin ones at the end. Watch your fingers on the last one. You normally get 6 to 8 cookies, but as I say, make them to whatever size you want, but I like a 4 centimetre diameter and anywhere between 6 to 8 cookies. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll take the cling film off. Thank you, Zach. Let's get all the cling film off. And we'll place these on our baking tray. Okay, so we preheated our oven to 180 degrees, but I'm not sure what gas mark that is, whatever oven you have. All the details are in the book. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cookies and a tiny knobbly bit here, which is a mouthful. We can't leave a mouthful. Oh, another mouthful. Sorry, but waste not, want not. You've got to have all of it. Yes, so we've got 2 little knobbly bits as well. So what we'll do is we've got a baking tray. So we're going to get all the cookies on the baking tray. Zach, you can put them all on whilst I'm talking. So what we need to do now is really spread them around on your baking tray, because we're going to really press down and separate them. Now they seem really hard, and I'll start them off and you can finish them off if you want, Zach. They will crumble, look, but you can manipulate them. They still bind, even though they crumble, don't worry at all. That's it, Zach, you get the next one doing. Whether they've crumbled or not, you can fix them. The coconut oil and the peanut butter just makes them all nice and gooey and soft again. Okay, so we've left at least a good centimetre between that one. And we're going to carry on with the rest of these and then we'll get them in the oven. That was a mission, wasn't it? Yeah. But we got there in the end. So we ended up with the 2 little knobbly bits and added them to some of the others. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So really, we should have probably done 6 big ones, but we got 1 piddly one. Okay, should we get them in the oven then?
Yep.
You open the door and I'll get them in. Okay, see you in 10 minutes. 10 minutes is up. Our double chocolate chip soft cookie dough cookies are ready, okay? Watch, it's really hot. Woo. Okay. These smell incredible, and just remember there's no dairy, there's no gluten, there's no refined sugar, and there's actually no eggs in these neither, and they taste amazing. I told you.
I'm fine.
So we're going to cool them down for a few seconds and I'll get a really nice plate, cup of tea, and we'll try one, shall we? Yep. Okay, so spatula, let's get the spatula out. Can you see a spatula in there, Zach? Get these in front so that I can really feel the heat off them, so watch your arms and your fingers and your hands and your toes and your eyelashes and everything, Zach. Let's scoop these big boys up. Look how soft. You can almost just see the gooiness. They will, as they cool down, go a little bit harder, but they never really lose that really nice gooiness, do they, Zach?
It's still hot.
It's still hot. Do not touch it. Yeah. Right, we'll get rid of this really hot tray before Zach burns his arm again. Right, we're going to go for one of these cookies now because they've cooled down, but we still like to have them hot and warm, don't we? So we're going to go for this biggest one. We've been discussing whilst we're literally been just staring at them whilst they cool down, haven't we? So there you go. I'm going to break that up for you. Should we find a nice gooey chocolatey bit?
Just break it up.
Yeah. Look
so
at
soft.
that. You can see the soft doughiness. I'm going to let Zach now have what he wants to have. I've tasted these 100 times. You go for it. Is it hot?
It's quite hot. Mmm.
How nice is that? Is that nice? Look, and if you can see that melted chocolate in there.
Not even too chocolatey either.
No, just nice. The melted chocolate, and it's so gooey and so gorgeous. So, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you've made the recipe and if you like it or if you need any tips. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you like it. Thank you, bye. Say bye, Zach.
Bye.
Stuff in his face.